the kids can go to Sunday school. I'm not sure who's leading it today, but okay. And then also, I'll go through some announcements very quickly. We have the weekly events that usually happen. So every Monday at 10 a.m. there's a prayer meeting at the Hayashi's house. And this Monday, DP Evening Study in LG is happening, as well as next Sunday, a sermon given by Lisa Hayashi. And then the 29th, there won't be any service here, but you're invited to have home services in your homes. Also this afternoon at 1:30 p.m., there's a counseling seminar in the Kent Room with Mr. Hayashi. And on top of that, there are various seminars you can participate in. So there's an Art of Healing seminar and retreat led by Beatrice Gonzalez. You can get in touch with Kathy Hayes for more information. Then organized by the Youth Universal Federation UK, there's an evening with Nathaniel Pete and Sebastian O'Connor. That's on the 2nd of June, but there are sheets around the room, so if there's anything you want to remember, please feel free to take those. And then also for parents, there's the Children's Summer Camp for 8-year-olds to 11-year-olds that's happening in July. Details are on the notice board downstairs. And also, I know that the ESGD, European Second Generation Department Summer Camp Summer Workshop sign-ups are out. So if you know anyone that would be interested, please let them know. Okay, I think those are all of my important announcements. I'll invite the band back up for some more songs before our service.
So the first song we're going to do is called Holy Spirit. I know that some people in the congregation listen to other types of worship music from the Christian community, so you might have heard this song. If you haven't heard it before and you don't like it, that's okay. We've got 2 other holy songs which you surely know before the service, but I'd like to really welcome you to sing this song together with us. And let's stand together.
Oh your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Central London community. And why I'm standing here, I wonder myself. Because usually I prefer my husband, of course, speak in the public, and I'm not a good speaker. Everybody knows. But I determined because I wanted my husband actually give some like message before he leaves. But as a wife, now true mother's rank in front, and why not? I can maybe give message representative from our couple. So I just don't want to say, Auf Wiedersehen, finished. This is my husband's message. So, oh my goodness, is that really you? My husband wanted to just say to our congregation who supported our family for 3 years. So I felt so grateful to stand here because I said to Mr. Hayashi, I just want to say thank you to support our family, just this. But finally, Tuesday, he just rang to me and, Emiko-san, can you give sermon? Well, so I prepared, of course, not just 4 days, actually prepared for 1 month, actually, to leave this country, finally, to start a new life in Germany. First of all, my title is anyway, Eternal Relationship. I was struggling to put the right title about blessing. Basically, I want to talk about. But before I start to talk about, I want to read Father's word. This was from 1996, September 21st, True Parent and True Family. Guidance from True Mother. The first responsibility is for one to become the master of true love, true free, and thanking God for the freedom of love and knowing how to cultivate and control oneself. This responsibility for a love relationship should not be taken merely because of law or social convention. Instead, a person should establish responsibility through his own self-control and self-determination within the life-committing vertical relationship with God. Second is one's responsibility towards the object of love. By nature, people do not want their spouse's love to be shared with others. Horizontal conjugal love, which differs from the vertical love between parents and children, loses its potential for perfection the moment it is divided. This is because the principle of creation requires husband and wife to become one in absolute love. Each spouse has the responsibility given by love to live absolutely for the sake of others. The third responsibility of love is toward children. The love of parents is a basis for children's pride and happiness. They would wish to be born through the total and harmonious unity of their parent in true love, and they would wish to be raised in that kind of love. The most precious responsibility of parents is not only to rear their children externally, but also to offer them life element of true love that can perfect their spirituality. This is why the family is so valuable. The daily experience of the heart of true children, true brothers and sisters, true spouses, and true parents cannot be acquired in any place other than the true family. So this is basically 3 blessings to talk about. And today is actually the day, UN Day of Family, UN International Day of Family. If anybody knows that today is a very special day, actually. So that's why it's perfect for me to talk about family. And somebody watched yesterday British Got Talent last night? You know, I love music to listen to. And if Rosemary remember that one mother was singing with daughter, did you get that? No, you missed the most, very moving. Anyway, this is I want to talk about actually core of heart. And this mother and the daughter just stood up, just like from Filipino, I don't know the nationality, just actually, Simon Judge, he asked, what's the relationship with your husband? Who is husband? He asked, obviously, why must be the mother and daughter? Why not husband? Then, and mother started kind of, very emotional, because last year she kind of divorced with husband, but overcoming with this daughter, precious daughter, like 15, and they had a beautiful voice and harmony, which really I was longing to, do with my daughter sometime. I always was telling to my daughter, but no, you are out of tune, Mom. No way. No. You cannot stand in the stage. No way. Anyway, so I was so moved, and I started to cry because mother, the heart and love toward the daughter, she wanted to protect to this precious daughter, Then mother was so strong, powerful to, start to sing. Oh my goodness, mother is such a strong lady. And they finished the perform, and I was crying. I always do. When somebody touched my heart in watching a Korean drama, I just cry. And the moment my grandson came, Harmony. She just covered, his face, and he tried to, hug me. Come on, Harmony, and just hug me, because he felt I'm crying, So I was so moved by even grandson, how he knows my heart. I was so moved. Always like this, my grandson's between us. Sometimes I argue with my daughter. She's very strong. And sometimes hurt so much my heart. But grandson comes to comfort me. So this is really nice to have grandson in my house. And and my husband actually has still kind of trauma. I could see the photo which he sent this morning from Saudi Arabia, still meeting with Saudi Arabian prince. So I was thinking, maybe he's still not recovering from 2.5 years in Saudi Arabia alone. Different language, different religion, especially they hate Jewish people. So finally he must change his family name because headmaster in the school asked him to not corn. Can you change the coffee or some kahi is like the pronunciation. And just I know, just recently when he came back, he never ever shared really suffering and death threat every day. I don't want to talk about detail, just every single day I just was, oh my goodness, what will happen tomorrow? So I was always holding my phone every day, be ready to run to Saudi Arabia if anything happened. I should go to somehow, see him. This was my 2.5 years. So kind of I was praying to God, I should do something, make good condition for that. But I never doubted. God never abandoned our family because my husband has clear goal, clear purpose to live there, to love Arabic people. So always he was. In Afghanistan, he went to make movie for CARB movement. And the time when Russian airplane was shooting from the air, so he was almost killed at the time, and 3 months after I got blessing. Oh my goodness, what kind of person is my husband? He want to kill himself. Blessing doesn't mean just go to spiritual world as hero. No way. But I must follow to this kind of crazy guy since I got blessing. Was 35 years ago, 1982. Then when I was 30, I went to Germany because of joined to German Cup that time. So it was actually 30 years ago exactly. That's why when I was thinking to where we should move now, because we can't stay in London, too expensive. But we must find somewhere to come together, as all family together, to something to do God's providence, something 3 generations together. So I never want to be separate from a family. So that moment, last year, June, just we went through travel agent in Germany. I just had a 3-day holiday. Me and my husband just want to relax. Then we met such a nice area, and everything was guided since then. And all areas, even restaurant owner came to us and started to talk about, how they moved to Germany. It's an incredible story we could hear, having dinner together with my husband. And what's going on with this village? Why they want to talk to us? Because we are just couple, or very unusual. But I thought, must be some meaning. We should maybe move to here, to restore something still we couldn't restore 30 years ago. My husband was CARP center leader, and we had like 120 members always. And of course, we struggled, but we always felt God's grace because always brothers and sisters supported. And whenever we moved to other place, always members really appreciate and say gratitude and cried. And even when we went to Russia for 1 year as missionary, all family went missionary in Russia, St. Petersburg. And it's just 1 year. And we all family went to there because true father said so. We always responded as couple and family. And I was so grateful because my husband asked me always, would you like to go to Russia? Well, yes. You know why I could say that? Because I was preparing. Because the communist country, I must taste that. Because my background, my father was communist. So when I got blessing, my father completely, not because my husband is English, because my husband came through Unification Church. So he hated religion. So in my family, always they argue each other, and it was hell for me. So I never want to be married. Never. I want to be nun, so no way to be married. So, but if I don't marry, they really make my parents happy. Should I show to really better family, better couple to show to my parents finally? So since then, I was always praying for God. God, if possible, can you give me chance to make beautiful family, to have children too. To finally come back to show to my parents, look, religion itself is not so important, but through true love, if you found true love through your partner, you can melt anybody actually. So when I came back from Germany to Japan, from Russia actually, we went back to Japan. We gave blessing to finally our parents. This was my dream. And 5 grandchildren came to take my father's hand. He hated to even step in the church, 1 step. He's just looking at that like this, and he just hated. And but because of grandchildren, hold the hand, Grandpa, Ji-chan, come on, this is heaven. This is a nice place. Look at that, people are very nice. So just he came. That's an incredible miracle for me to see my father. Because, of course, my mother never, never linked to believe in true father is a give blessing finally, to bound together for eternal relationship with him. So although my mother was suffer a lot, so many ways, from my father and make violence, and never really show true love to my mother. And that's why I was suffer a lot. How can I make really? But after that, my father has changed. Gradually, I started to change. He started to taste to be grandfather, the position. And finally, after, I don't know, 10 years ago, I brought also my grandson to show to my father. It's like 4 generations. They are blessed also, blessed couples. So they start to value blessing, actually. And through children, my grandson, they started to taste how blessing it is. You know, that's amazing. They almost divorced when I was a child. And I never could imagine I can bring to show to my grandson. And my father was so happy to just cuddle him and smiling. You know, Japanese man never smile and even never say anything like, apart from green tea, ocha, every day like this in my life. So, oh my goodness. But my husband is completely opposite. He speaks a lot, you know, express with his word. I love you, I love you, I love you, morning till night. Oh my goodness, I don't need that, I just need substantial love. You know, women need something, flower, once a week. It's even, America they do so. Why don't you bring one? But I, of course, couldn't say that, how much I'm valuable for him. So when I was blessed, I was so blessed because his mother came to Korea. You know, he has 5 diamond, ruby, and leopard, you know, like coat, very expensive, blonde hair. Should not be my mother-in-law. Is that really his mother? It's not similar to my husband. He was wearing sneakers, and really kind of like trouser. And when I met him first time, and oh my, this is my husband. Anyway, I didn't want to be blessed. I didn't expect anything like that. So I couldn't, of course, invite my parents to blessing. It's quite difficult. Because my first candidate will be the Korean person who, you know, is enemy for Japan. So if I got the Korean husband, oh my goodness, what will happen? But my husband has no problem to bring, and they are ready already. Like his parents are ready completely. Even my mother-in-law had a dream of my face before came to Korea. So, oh my goodness. So she said to me in Korea, she said, I know you. I don't know you. But she said, I saw you. Quite interesting. Everything like prepared. So I didn't expect at all about this. Maybe I was the youngest one, 22 or 24 at that time. So I didn't think about, you know, I get husband like that. And even parents are already in the church. Oh my goodness. I never expect that. So she was so kind. She just accepted everything who I am, who I was. And just because of that, my mother and younger sister was so pleased to see my husband in Japan when he came. He was so gentleman at that time, carrying the bag for me and, you know, offered to my mother, to, you know, very English gentleman. And I was so pleased. Why God gave me such an incredible husband. And he's so spiritual. And I didn't speak to him from beginning, and he found out, me, you have a problem with your father, right? So I can see that. And why don't we share to solve this problem? And I'm the one, that's why God chose for you. So I was so pleased, and I just really felt God's blessing. And how God knows my problem. I didn't speak to my husband, nothing. Why they know? So spiritual. I never really expect anything. Just before blessing, I had a dream. Because that time, Yejin, first daughter, was blessed. Then I was really wishing to comfort, you know, to be really, really true children of true parents, of course. This is my, you know, like base when I joined the family life, because I was longing to really have true parents. Because my parents are not my ideal physically. They're always fighting. But doesn't mean I don't love them. So I must have a solution, you know. to have an eternal relationship, how I can come back. And then just before blessing, I had a long dream. Then I was kind of in, elevator. I was, going to the elevator, long elevator to the top of the building somewhere, and I just suddenly went to the bottom and opened it. This was hell. So many wild beasts and waiting for me, the dogs and waiting for me like this, and oh my God, why I must go to hell suddenly, I was wishing to pray for true parents, and afterwards just took me, to the heaven. And when I opened, the true parents were there, and there was flowers and fragrant and such a beautiful place. Oh, so different. So I didn't expect to go to heaven. Just I felt, oh, I see. True parents want me to taste. You must go through first hell in your life. Taste that, everything. Hell, agony, everything. Understand about how, they went through. Then you can feel happier. Without seeing hell, without tasting hell in your life, how you can appreciate your true parents' blessing? So this exactly I thought. Then next day, and true mother came up to my dream, and she showed me beautiful smile. That time, Yejin was blessed, and she was very, very happy, very happy. My image about true mother is really crying every single time when I see true mother's face, crying from suffering. So I thought, how can I comfort them, our true mother's heart? She gave birth 13 children, more than 13. She never complained. She just followed to true father. Whenever true father asked to do this and that, and we lost many true children. How can people judge her? So even I look at the physical mother, she suffered a lot. Even look at my mother's life story. Oh my goodness, she's a wonderful, 13 children's eldest daughter. So my grandmother almost survived until 99 years old and 10 months. Then she went in a spiritual world. So I liberated her because she saved my life when I was born. So how can I make this kind of eternal relationship? And of course, I thought about I should liberate my grandmother who saved my life. Although she's now in the spiritual world, but she's protecting me. She's always with me. I feel that very strongly. And she's indicating me to be good wife, good wife and good mother and good grandparent even, So my grandmother's long life, but she didn't have a husband for 50 years. But she kept her whole tribe, and she had finally now 20 grandchildren and grandson, great-grandson actually. So this kind of a family, and I never really thought about, expanding through tribal messiahship. So if I didn't join the family, I couldn't think that way, how to save my family, and also never could dream to have my husband, and I never could dream to have a daughter and son, and also son-in-law is from Korea, and also grandson is completely mixed with four lineage, like Jewish and German and English and Japanese and Korean. It's interesting to see my grandson, how he speaks several languages now, baby languages. So I felt so blessed. And when I came to, sorry, I'm going to quite different way, but basically I want to talk about how much God's blessed us, and if you don't give up, everybody has different goals, but if you could make really good plan, of course with husband and wife together, 10 years even plan, not 1 year plan, how we can serve to the society, and how you can, love your enemies, and how you can serve to in your family, and God will guide you. Especially when my husband went to Saudi Arabia, I thought, oh my goodness, what will happen? And then God sent us here in the UK, the missionaries, 4 missionaries at that time. Then I thought it's right time. God sent us to really, us to learn something. Because True Mother sent us these 4 missionaries. And I started work with them, and I learned a lot. Especially Friday evening, when I attended a study group, and I really learned a lot. And almost every time I had a spiritual experience with brothers and sisters, and also guests. We prayed together for guests, and guests sometimes just taught us so many things, good things about how to relate with, even different background. So I thought really Divine Principle is powerful. And also based on that, if we really keep going, in the future, something really good things will happen. Now the church is kind of splitting, but it doesn't matter for me. As long as we have the same God, and if we focus how to really bless our all tribes through us. We have not particularly great ability, to preach or anything like that. But in the deepest heart, we love true parents so much. So I dedicated since 37 years ago. And I really want to keep this eternal relationship. And still I'm learning a lot. And when I became grandmother, what kind of person should I be? This is my question to myself. What kind of person grandmother should be? And my neighbors, actually, is 83 years old lady. She was questioned to me, and she's an English lady who live alone. And she saw us, and the 3 generations living together. For her, it's very unusual. So her question was, are you married? Yes, I'm married, yes. And is your daughter married? Yes, my daughter married too. And is this real grandson, direct grandson? Yes, this is my daughter's son. Yeah, okay. It's interesting. So I was surprised about her comment in the question. Does she think that way? I thought it's normal to have family married. In Japan, it's quite normal to be married and have children and have grandchildren. It's kind of, then they feel like very happy, But she has 4 children, but none of them really married, actually. And she expects so much to have own grandchildren. So when she saw my grandson, just amazed. She just amazed to see my grandson. So I started to know, English society, of course not everybody like that, but I started to think how much God wants to show through our blessing, can spread the happiness and also the blessing and eternal blessing, and eternal relationship. So I really want to develop a relationship still in Germany, because now the chance I could start live with my husband finally. And my husband has a lot of idea, and already village people asking to paint Maria's face. It's already lasted in the village. So because came up to my husband, and can you paint? How much does it cost to paint all the faces? My husband said, no way. I don't want to charge any money because this is my village. Oh, so he was quite surprised. And I said, oh my goodness, does he really want to paint all the village Mary's face, paint? He likes to paint anyway, but how can say so easily? Just 2 months, he started living in the village, The old neighbors so curious to come to our house and say hello. And oh, very nice, very nice. And they started to give hand to repair the things. And oh my goodness, what is this village prepared for us? I just was surprised how God's plan, if husband and wife together to, make a decision and find, in the future, of course, I want to welcome our children and grandchildren probably, descendant of a Jewish person who lost everything many years ago. So my father-in-law was very, very pleased because we now come back to Germany, do something to serve to Germany. And my husband feel very strongly they need us. This is his inspiration. So I feel also same way. Whatever he say, I don't know, maybe next year we come back to England because I love England and I love people and I feel very comfortable, especially in London. This congregation just helped me a lot to, support me, pray for my family every week, and the Women's Federation and choir. I was so pleased, something I can do in London, but now I must leave again. Next year I'll be 60. What can I do? I cannot speak German language properly. Still, I must try, challenge from 60 to 70, 10 years. I must challenge again, 10 years plan to make plan with my husband. You never know nowadays when you go to spiritual world. But always, I never forget, since I got blessing, God always remembers each one of us. Every couple has, every single person has mission. Special, unique mission for your bright future. So you don't have to depress anything, just you can keep going. And if you have big goal, I never expected to have another house. I just didn't need. I'm happy to live in Sleepy Mac still. If around me, my family is with me, I really don't care what I eat and where I sleep. Just I need a community, like you, beautiful people who really work together. Then I can grow up gradually, and I can repent. I can examine myself, what I am, and somebody can tell me, sometimes through somebody else can tell me what I am. And I was so, grateful to have you. And without your support, my family couldn't maybe survive. I can see that from God's viewpoint. And we are so grateful to support still this community. And please, just encourage each other and keep going. And I really, this is my message. And my husband is so grateful. My husband now can do something really he wanted to do originally. Otherwise, he just worked, and 14 years just worked. And I really wanted him to be good painter, influence the society, connect with politicians to, make influence the society. He can do it. And I'm the, like a wife, like true mother, whatever comes, I can be ready. I can be a good wife. I can be a good mother and grandmother. still on the way. But really, I want to examine in the next 10 years again. And maybe next time if we meet each other, more gray hairs, many wrinkles, I don't know. But keep young your spirit, and also not just externally, keep young your spirit and do something together even in 10 years' time. Like, Mary, another pastor showed us such a guts and, guided us such a way. So I really appreciate somebody really, made a foundation for this country. So we'll keep in touch. And that is my message. Can I pray? Please join me in the prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents and true parents, we are so grateful to have you as a model of our parents. And many people don't have really parents. But in our deepest heart, already we are connected with true parents. Wherever we go, we never forget. you guide us and also give us such a truth and also how to make beautiful family and show to the society we are the one we can show good family to them and even different ethics and different religion, but still we can be one if we don't forget your existence. And also you really guide and also you really give us such an opportunity every moment. So we don't want to cut our relationship to you, and we really longing to really come back to you anytime. So please bless all congregation, and I really want to say all thank you to this congregation for really supported for this congregation, each one of them. I want to offer this prayer with gratitude in the name of Emiko Konno's Blessed Central Family. Aju. Thank you.